how you doing, everybody? My name is Malik McCall, and this is my story about how I found out I had high-grade sarcoma.
How did you find out you had it?
I was on a trip overseas, and when I came back, maybe a week after, I noticed I had this lump in my thigh. I didn't think much of it. I thought maybe it was a pulled muscle, but then I noticed it started to get bigger and bigger. And so I went to the doctor. Great doctor, Dr. Bond. He's amazing, my hero. And he just proceeded to ask me just a couple of preliminary questions. Asked me to take some blood tests, and then sent me on my way. And I guess when the blood tests came back, he put in a referral to get some imaging done.
What did the MRI reveal?
Yeah, so just a little preface to the story. When he referred me to the MRI, he was about 50% sure that it might be malignant. He didn't know if it was, but he said the MRI would be conclusive. So off I went to do my MRI, and for that week, I was on pins and needles as I was trying to figure out. When we got the MRI back, he said, well, maybe what we need to do is, of course, get a biopsy. And so the following week, I went to see a surgical oncologist, Dr. Schroff, amazing guy. And him and I just kind of talked about really what this thing was and what the next steps were. And he said he had a team that he worked with. And so he took a biopsy, and when, of course, the results came back, it was pleomorphic sarcoma. My world was turned upside down, and I wanted to make sure that I had the right specialist and the right team in place. But because there were these waiting lists for all these oncologists and specialists, I just decided to push through and start the treatment. And so last week, I started my first dose of Keytruda. Here I am doing my first treatment of Keytruda. There's a lot of beautiful people here. Onwards and upwards, right? Let's get this. I went in to the office, and it's through intravenous. You can get it either through a port, which is a small incision that they make on the right side of your chest, or you can get it on your arm, which is what I kind of opted to do. And it was fine. I mean, I came home, I had a migraine for a couple of days, but other than that, it was.
Talk to me about your other treatment.
So the other treatment, of course, is radiation. The radiation is weekly, or actually it's daily for the next 5 weeks. And so I'm going to start that today. I'm really excited. And part of this excitement is knowing that I'm going to get through this. I'm going to push through. I'm learning a lot, and there's kind of like four things that I'm trying to follow.
Why are you so optimistic about this?
I'm optimistic because I know that my life is invaluable, and that this experience can only make me greater. And I kind of abide by, as I said before, 4 different rules. Number one, I'm my biggest inhibitor. I'm my biggest weapon against this. And so even though I may have this, I don't necessarily believe that I have it, right? And I kind of the image that I kind of go by is it's this little thing on my body. I mean, it's big, obviously, in size. It's grown to like 8 centimeters. But this thing on me is, it's just really another stepping stone to make me even a greater person. So wherever you are in your journey with this, don't let it define who you are, right? You define it. You define what it is to you and what your relationship with it. And and even sometimes I and this may sound weird to some of y'all, sometimes I pray for its happiness, right? Because obviously from my understandings, cancers really are attracted to healthy bodies, right? And our bodies are and again, I'm not a scholar, but our bodies are so advanced that when cancers or cancerous cells do metastasize on our bodies, the body creates this shield around it. And then, of course, modern technology goes in and it pokes it, and it spreads. But I'm its biggest inhibitor, meaning, in addition to the treatment that I'm getting, I'm going to beat this. And number two, do your research. Do your research. Like, read everything you can about this. Don't just accept the lyrics that these specialists are going to give you. Do your own research. Try and understand how it relates to you, or where it's coming from. And if you're kind of attracted to a specialist, or you're kind of attracted to a doctor, maybe look up some of the journals that they've written. Look up some of the research, clinical trials that they've done, so that you can kind of align yourself with the perfect person. Number three, get that dream team together, right? Get the Chicago Bulls, or I don't know, or the dream team, the Laker team, or the Celtics. Get your dream team together. And what I mean by that is, don't expect that they're going to come to you. You have to fight for your life. You really got to fight to find the best possible specialist, the best possible person. Not doctor, not oncologist, a person who specifically focuses on this particular cancer. Because there's a lot of, not trying to discount doctors out there, but there's a lot of specialists out there who say that they can cure you, but there's really nothing to back them up in terms of the research that they've done. So just be careful. And that kind of filters into the third point. And my sister and my aunt, who are my strongest advocates, remind me of this. Don't just settle on one opinion. See as many specialists as you can. Because out of those 4 or 5 specialists, one specialist may have found something that could totally revolutionize the way you see this, the way you treat this. So don't be afraid to ask questions, right? Go in with a lot of questions. Be angry when you meet these people, right? Think of this as an opportunity to really align yourself with someone who's going to save your life. Because at the end of the day, you are going to be working with this person. And then finally, diet. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Those sweets, those bonbons. There's a lot of great videos on YouTube. A lot of people doing a lot of great stuff on YouTube. And if I can only add to that and say, again, research, right? There's the macrobiotic diet. There's all kinds of different diets that are out there that may be fit for you. But just understand that you may have to take some sacrifices, right? You can do it. I believe in you.